The morning sky above Earth turned dark as massive shadows blocked the sun. Lisa Green looked up from her car repair shop and saw something impossible. Giant purple ships floated in the sky like floating cities. She had never seen anything so beautiful and terrifying at the same time. Every television screen, radio, and phone on the planet suddenly showed the same image. A tall woman with silver skin and bright blue eyes appeared. She wore a crown made of glowing crystals. Her face looked sad and desperate. Lisa dropped her wrench and stared at the screen. The alien woman began to speak. Her voice was soft but carried the weight of someone who ruled millions. "I am Queen Zara of the Velian Empire," she said. "I have traveled across the galaxy to find your world. I come to you not as a conqueror but as a mother in need. My daughter is dying and only humans can save her." The queen continued speaking, but Lisa could barely believe what she heard. The most powerful alien race in the galaxy needed help from Earth. The small blue planet that had only just learned how to travel to its own moon. "Please do not fear us," the queen said. "We have watched your species for many years. You have something special that no other race possesses. Something that can heal what others cannot touch. I am begging you to help save my child." Lisa ran outside and saw her neighbors standing in the street. Everyone looked up at the alien ships with wide eyes. Some people screamed and ran away. Others just stood frozen, with fear. But Lisa felt something different. She felt curious. The queen spoke for 10 more minutes, explaining that her daughter had been cursed by an ancient artifact. The curse was slowly killing the young princess. Nothing the aliens tried could remove it. Their best doctors and warriors had all failed. Then the queen said something that made Lisa's heart race. "We need one human volunteer, someone brave enough to come with us and touch what others cannot. Our scanners show that humans have a rare ability. You can resist the darkness that consumes all other life." The giant ships began landing in fields around major cities. Lisa watched the news as alien soldiers came out. They looked like tall humans, but with silver skin and cat-like eyes. They carried strange devices that looked like metal flowers. The aliens began scanning people one by one in every city Lisa saw on television, as person after person was rejected by the scanners. The devices would glow red, and the aliens would shake. Their head's Lisa family called her on the phone. Her mother was crying and begging her to hide. Her father told her to pack food and water in case the world ended. But Lisa felt drawn to the aliens. She wanted to know more about this curse and why. Only humans could help. 3 days passed and still no human had been chosen. Lisa began to think the aliens would give up and leave. Then she heard vehicles outside her shop. 4 alien soldiers stood at her door. They were tall and graceful with kind faces. One of them held a scanning device toward her. The device began glowing bright green and making beautiful music sounds. The aliens looked at each other with surprise and relief. The leader stepped forward. "You are the one," he said in perfect English. "We have been searching for 3 days across your entire world. The scanner shows you have the strongest resistance to dark energy we have ever detected." Lisa felt scared, but also excited. "Will you come with us to save our princess?" he asked. "The choice is yours. We cannot force you, but without your help she will die within 1 week. Lisa thought about her life on Earth. She had no family of her own, just her aging parents. Her repair shop was small, and she had few friends. But she had always dreamed of seeing the stars. "I will come," she said. "But I want to understand more about this curse and why humans are special." The alien soldier smiled. "Our queen will explain everything once you are aboard our ship. Are you ready to leave now?" Lisa packed a small bag with clothes and photos of her family. The aliens escorted her to a smaller ship that looked like a silver teardrop. As they lifted off Earth, she watched her home planet grow smaller. The flight to the main ship took only minutes, but Lisa felt like her whole life was changing. The alien pilot told her that Princess Kira was only 16 years old in human terms. She had touched a cursed object during an exploration mission. "The curse feeds on life energy," the pilot explained. "It grows stronger. Each day soon it will consume her completely. Many of our people have tried to help her, but the darkness corrupts them instantly. They become sick, and some even die. Lisa asked why humans were different. The pilot looked thoughtful. Your species has something unique in the galaxy. He said you have faced darkness throughout your history, wars, poverty, disease, loss. But instead of being destroyed by these things, you become stronger. You learn to hope even when hope seems impossible. The main ship was bigger than any building Lisa had ever seen. Inside it looked like a crystal palace with walls that glowed soft blue. The aliens who lived there moved with grace and purpose. Everyone seemed worried and sad. Queen Zara met Lisa at the entrance. The alien ruler looked exhausted, as if she had not slept for days, but her eyes lit up when she saw Lisa. "Thank you for coming," she said. "I know this must be frightening for you, but you may be the only hope my daughter has left." The queen led Lisa through long corridors decorated with beautiful art and plants. Lisa saw hundreds of aliens working at strange machines, trying to find a cure for the princess. "We are an advanced civilization," Queen Zara explained. "We have conquered diseases that destroyed. Other worlds, we have weapons that can crack planets and ships that travel faster than light. But we cannot remove a simple curse from a young girl." They reached a large room with walls made of clear crystal. In the center stood a bed surrounded by glowing tubes. Princess Kira lay still and quiet. Her silver skin had turned gray and her breathing was shallow. On her chest, Lisa could see a small black stone. It pulsed with red light and seemed to move slightly. The air around it felt cold and wrong. "That is the cursed artifact," Queen Zara said softly. "It was created by an ancient race called the Devourers. They made thousands of these objects to spread suffering across the galaxy. Most were lost when their civilization died, but some remain." Hidden Lisa stared at the dying princess. She looked so young and peaceful. The curse was clearly causing her pain even while she slept. "How do I remove it?" Lisa asked. The queen hesitated. "You must touch it directly." "But Lisa, the moment you make contact, it will try to consume your life force." Many of our strongest warriors have tried. All of them barely survived, and none could hold on long enough to remove it. Lisa felt afraid but also determined. This young alien girl needed her help, and Lisa had never walked away from someone in need. "I understand the risks," she said. "When do we start?" Queen Zara looked surprised by Lisa's courage. Most beings would ask for time to think or try to negotiate better terms. But you are ready to risk everything for a stranger you just met. That is what humans do," Lisa replied. "We help others even when it costs us." The queen smiled for the first time since Lisa had arrived. "Yes," she said. "I believe your species may be the most remarkable in the galaxy, and that gives me hope that my daughter will live." Lisa spent the night in a beautiful guest room aboard the alien ship. She could not sleep well because she kept thinking about the cursed stone and the dying princess. Through her window, she could see Earth far below, looking like a small blue marble inn. The morning Queen Zara brought Lisa to meet the royal doctors. They were tall aliens with 4 arms and large eyes that seemed to see everything. Dr. Vina was the head physician, and she looked very worried. "We have studied the curse for 5 days," she explained to Lisa. "The artifact feeds on life energy like a parasite. It grows stronger with each passing hour. Soon it will have consumed enough energy to become permanent." Lisa asked what that meant. Dr. Vina showed her computer images of the cursed stone. The black object was spreading tiny roots through Princess Kira's body like evil veins. "Once the roots reach her heart, the princess will die," she said. "But worse than that, the curse will then spread to others. Anyone who touches her will become infected. The curse could destroy our entire ship and eventually our whole planet." Lisa felt the weight of responsibility. She was not just trying to save one girl anymore. The fate of an entire alien civilization might depend on her. "How many people live on your world?" Lisa asked. "Queen Zara replied, 40 billion souls. They are all counting on us to find a solution. Princess Kira is not just my daughter. She is the heir to our empire. If she dies, the succession wars could tear our people Apart, Lisa walked to the medical bay where the princess lay. The cursed stone was definitely bigger than yesterday, and the gray color in her skin had spread. The young alien girl looked like she was fading away. I need to understand more about these devourers, Lisa said. Who were they and why did they create these artifacts? Dr. Vina called up holographic images showing an ancient alien race. The devourers looked like giant insects with black shells and red eyes. They had conquered hundreds of worlds before mysteriously disappearing. They believed that suffering made beings stronger, she explained. So they created these cursed objects to test other civilizations. Most races that encountered the artifacts were destroyed completely. Only the strongest survived. But why can humans resist the curse? Lisa asked. Queen Zara looked thoughtful. Your species has faced more hardship than most. You have survived ice ages, plagues, wars, and disasters that would have ended other civilizations. Each time, you not only survived but became stronger. The Queen showed Lisa images of human history, the rise and fall of empires, the great wars, the struggle against disease and hunger, the exploration of space. Other races avoid suffering, she continued. They build perfect societies where everyone is safe and comfortable. But humans embrace challenge. You run toward danger instead of away from it. Lisa understood the aliens were more advanced, but they had become soft. Humans were still tough because they had never stopped fighting for survival. Can I practice on something smaller? First, Lisa asked, I have never dealt with anything like this before. Dr. Vina brought out a tiny fragment of cursed stone. It was no bigger than a grain of sand, but Lisa could feel its evil energy from across the room. The moment she got close, the fragment began glowing and trying to drain her strength. She reached out and touched it with one finger. Pain shot through her hand, like lightning. But she did not let go. Lisa focused on her memories of helping people back home. All the cars she had fixed, all the neighbors she had helped, all the times she had refused to give up. The cursed fragment cracked and turned to dust. Lisa's hands shook, but she felt victorious. Amazing. Dr. Vina said you held contact for 30 seconds. Our best warrior could only manage 5 seconds before the curse overwhelmed him. But Lisa noticed something else. When she touched the curse, she could feel its thoughts. It was not just evil energy. It was intelligent and hungry. The curse wanted to spread and consume everything living. I think these artifacts are alive. Lisa said. They have minds of their own. The devourers did not just make weapons. They created living parasites that can think, and Plan Queen Zara looked alarmed. If that is true, then the curse in my daughter knows we are trying to remove it. It will fight back even harder when you attempt the full removal. Lisa nodded. I felt its hunger. It wants to grow and spread. But I also sensed something else, fear. The curse is afraid of humans. It does not understand why it cannot consume us completely. Dervina began preparing the medical equipment for the removal procedure Lisa would need to maintain contact with the cursed stone for at least 5 minutes to fully extract it from the princess body. But as they prepared, Lisa noticed alien guards running through the corridors. Something was happening. Queen Zara received an urgent message on her communication device. What is wrong? Lisa asked. The queen face turned pale. We are receiving distress calls from across the galaxy. Other cursed artifacts have suddenly become more active. They are draining their victims faster as if they sense what we are about to do. Lisa realized the truth. The cursed stones were connected to each other. They formed a network of evil that spanned the entire galaxy. When one was threatened, they all became more dangerous. How many artifacts are still out there? She asked. Dr. Vina checked her computer records. At least 2,000 scattered across 500 worlds. Some are hidden in ancient temples. Others are buried in dead planets. A few are even drifting in deep space. Lisa felt overwhelmed. She had thought she was just saving one princess. Now she learned that thousands of cursed objects were threatening civilizations across the galaxy. But we must start somewhere. Queen Zara said, if we can save Kira and prove that humans can remove these curses, then we can organize missions to find and destroy all the artifacts. Lisa looked at the dying princess. The young alien girl was getting weaker. She might not survive another day. I am ready, she said. But I want something in return. If I do this, I want your people to help Earth join the galactic community. We have been alone for too long. Queen Zara smiled. It would be our honor. Humanity has already proven itself worthy. Any species brave enough to face the cursed artifacts deserves a place among the stars. Lisa put on the special medical suit that Dr. Vina had designed. It would monitor her vital signs and inject medicine if the curse began killing her. But everyone knew the suit could only do so much. She approached the crystal chamber where Princess Kira lay. The cursed stone seemed to sense her coming. It began pulsing faster and the temperature in the room dropped. As Lisa placed her hands on the chamber walls, the curse immediately began attacking her. She felt cold, spreading through her body, and heard whispers in her mind telling her to give up. But Lisa had made her decision. She thought about her parents back on Earth, about the billions of aliens counting on her, about all the civilizations that could be saved if she succeeded. I will not let you win, she whispered. To the curse, Lisa opened the chamber and reached for the cursed stone. The moment her fingers touched it, the pain was beyond anything she had ever imagined. It felt like every nerve in her body was on fire, while ice water filled her veins. The curse fought back with intelligence. It tried to convince her that saving the princess was hopeless. It showed her images of failure and death. It promised to stop the pain if she would just let go. But Lisa held on. She thought about every difficult moment in her life and how she had overcome them. She thought about human history and how her species had survived every challenge. The cursed stone began to crack. Lisa could feel its fear growing. The parasite had never encountered anything like human determination before. Around her, she could hear Queen Zara and Dr. Vina shouting encouragement. But Lisa was focused only on the battle between her will and the ancient evil. She was going to win. She had to win. Too many lives depended on it. Lisa's grip tightened on the cursed stone as waves of agony crashed through her body. The artifact was fighting with everything it had, showing her visions of death and destruction. But she could feel it weakening under her human determination. Princess. Kira's eyes suddenly opened. The young alien girl looked directly at Lisa with confusion and hope. Who are you? She whispered weakly. Lisa managed to smile, despite the pain. I am Lisa from Earth. I am here to help you. The princess tried to sit up, but the curse held her down. The black stone was still embedded in her chest, pulsing with evil energy. It hurt so much, Princess Kira said, tears flowing down her silver cheeks. The darkness keeps showing me terrible things. It wants me to give up hope. Lisa felt the curse trying to break her concentration by making the princess suffer more. But this only made her more determined. No evil parasite was going to torture a young girl while she could stop it. Hold on, Lisa said through gritted teeth. I am almost there. Dervina was monitoring both Lisa and the princess on her medical computers. Lisa's vital signs were dropping dangerously. Her heart was beating too fast and her brain waves showed signs of severe stress. She cannot maintain this much longer, the doctor warned Queen Zara. Lisa's body is human, not built for this kind of energy drain. But Queen Zara watched Lisa's face and saw something that amazed her. The human woman was not giving up. Even as the curse tried to kill her, she held on tighter. This is why humans are special, the queen said quietly. They do not know when to quit. The cursed stone cracked again and black smoke began rising from it. Lisa could feel its panic. The artifact had consumed thousands of victims over millions of years, but none had ever resisted this long. Through the pain, Lisa sensed something important. The curse was not just afraid of her. It was afraid of what she represented. If one human could destroy a cursed artifact, then other humans could do the same. The entire network of evil objects across the galaxy was watching this moment. They knew that their reign of terror might be ending. Lisa pulled harder on the stone, ignoring the fire in her veins. She thought about her repair shop back home and how she fixed broken things every day. This was just another repair job, except the stakes were higher. The artifact suddenly changed tactics. Instead of trying to drain her life, It began offering her power. It showed her visions of ruling worlds and commanding fleets of ships. You could be a queen, it whispered in her mind. Greater than any alien ruler. Just let me live and I will make you immortal. Lisa almost laughed. You picked the wrong person. She said, I do not want power. I just want to help people. The curse could not understand this response. It had corrupted millions of beings by offering them their greatest desires. But Lisa's greatest desire was simply to do the right thing. With a final surge of determination, Lisa ripped the cursed stone from Princess Kira's chest. The artifact screamed with a sound that only she could hear. Then it crumbled to dust in her hands. Lisa collapsed to the floor, her body shaking from exhaustion. But she smiled when she saw Princess Kira sitting up. The gray color was fading from her skin and her eyes were bright again. Princess Kira jumped from the medical bed and hugged Lisa. Thank you, she said. I thought I was going to die. The curse kept telling me that no one cared enough to save me. You were wrong, Lisa, said weakly. Your mother crossed the galaxy to find help. That is Love Queen. Zara knelt beside Lisa with tears in her blue eyes. You did something our entire civilization could not do. You saved my daughter and proved that the cursed artifacts can be destroyed. Dr. Vena was checking Lisa's vital signs with amazement. Her body had somehow survived energy levels that should have killed her. The human woman was tougher than any alien the doctor had ever studied. But as they celebrated, Lisa noticed something troubling on Dr. Vena computer screens. Alerts were coming in from across the galaxy. The remaining cursed artifacts had all become more active after sensing the destruction of their companion. Princess Kira saw the alerts too. What does this mean, she asked. It means we have a bigger problem than we thought, Lisa said. The artifacts are connected. They know one of them was destroyed and they are angry. Queen. Zara stood up with new determination. Then we must destroy them all before they can cause more damage, Lisa. You have shown us the way. Will you help us organize a mission to find every cursed artifact in the galaxy? Lisa looked at the alerts showing hundreds of worlds in danger. She thought about her quiet life on Earth and how it could never be the same after this. But she also thought about all the innocent people who would die if the curses were not stopped. I will help, she said. But I cannot do this alone. We will need other humans. Many other humans. Princess Kira looked excited. Can we go to Earth? I want to meet more humans and thank them for saving me. Queen Zara nodded. We will make Earth our base of operations. Your people deserve to know what is happening and to choose whether they want to help. Within hours, the alien fleet was traveling toward Earth. Lisa stood on the bridge watching her home planet grow larger. She wondered how people would react to the news that humanity had a special role to play in galactic affairs. Dr. Vena had been studying Lisa blood and found something incredible. Human DNA contained sequences that were resistant to dark energy. No other species in the galaxy had this natural protection. It is as if your evolution prepared you for this moment, she told Lisa. Your ancestors faced so many threats that your genetics developed defenses against hostile energy. When they arrived at Earth, Queen Zara appeared on every communication channel again. But this time her message was different. She was not desperate anymore. She was hopeful. People of Earth, she announced, your brave volunteer Lisa Green has saved my daughter and proven that humans are the key to ending an ancient threat. We request permission to establish a base on your world to train human volunteers. The response from Earth was overwhelming. Thousands of people volunteered to join the mission. Scientists, politicians, military leaders, and ordinary citizens all wanted to help. Lisa met with world leaders to explain the situation. The cursed artifacts were not just an alien problem, they threatened all life in the galaxy, including Earth. If we do not stop them now, she told the United Nations, they will eventually find their way to our solar system. We have the power to end this threat, but it requires brave people willing to risk everything. President Martinez of the Global Council asked the crucial question, how many volunteers do we need? Lisa looked at the star maps showing cursed artifact locations. At least 500, she said. Maybe more. Some of the artifacts are hidden in very dangerous places. We will need teams that can work in space on hostile planets and inside ancient ruins. Princess Kira had been learning about human culture, and she spoke up. I want to join the volunteer teams. She announced, Your people saved my life. Now I want to help save others. Queen Zara looked proud of her daughter, but also worried. The missions will be extremely dangerous. Even with human resistance to the curses, many volunteers may not survive. Lisa understood the risks, but she also knew that humanity had always been willing to sacrifice for the greater good. We will train carefully and work in teams. She said no one goes into danger alone, and we will start with the easiest artifacts first to gain experience. Dr. Vina had been working on equipment to help the human volunteers' special suits that could monitor their health and provide medical treatment during curse removal missions. But the most important discovery was that humans could sense cursed artifacts. From a distance, Lisa had demonstrated this ability, and tests showed other humans had it too. We are natural hunters of these parasites, Lisa realized. That is why evolution gave us this resistance. We were meant to find and destroy them. The first team of 50 human volunteers was ready within 2 weeks. They came from every country and every background. Soldiers, doctors, teachers, mechanics, students, and retirees. Lisa would lead the first mission to destroy a cursed artifact on the planet Kronos. It was located in an abandoned temple and was slowly killing the planet's remaining population as the mixed human and alien crew prepared to depart Earth. Lisa felt the weight of history. This was humanity's first step into galactic civilization and their first chance to prove they belonged among the stars. Princess Kira joined the mission team despite her mother's concerns. I have been touched by the curse, she explained. I understand it better than anyone, except Lisa. The ship lifted off from Earth carrying hopes and fears of two civilizations. Lisa looked back at her home world one more time, knowing that nothing would ever be the same again. Humanity was about to become the galaxy's greatest heroes. The planet Kronos looked like a graveyard from space. Its surface was covered with the ruins of a once great civilization. Lisa could see massive pyramids and broken towers scattered across the continents. The cursed artifact is hidden in the Temple of Eternal Night, Princess Kira explained as their ship entered the atmosphere. The temple was built by the Kronos people to honor their gods. But when they found the cursed stone, they thought it was a gift from heaven. Lisa studied the sensor readings, showing the temple location. The structure was enormous, bigger than any building on Earth, and it was surrounded by a field of dark energy that made electronic equipment fail. How many people are still alive down there? She asked. Queen Zara checked the latest reports. Only about 50,000 in scattered settlements. The curse has been slowly draining the life from their world for 300 years. Most fled to other planets, but some refused to leave their homeland. The human volunteer team consisted of 20 people from Earth. They had trained for 2 weeks learning to work with alien technology and practicing curse resistance techniques. Dr. Vina had developed Lisa team included Amy Foster, a former soldier who specialized in dangerous missions, Carl Murphy, a scientist who wanted to study the cursed artifacts, and Betty Walsh, a teacher who volunteered because her students inspired her to be brave. The alien crew was led by Commander Talon, a veteran warrior who had fought cursed artifacts before Princess Kira insisted on joining. Despite her recent recovery, and Dr. Vina came to provide medical support. When they landed near the temple, Lisa immediately felt the cursed artifact's presence. It was like a weight pressing down on her mind, trying to make her feel hopeless and afraid. The other humans felt it too, but they had learned to resist the mental attacks. The temple entrance was guarded by statues of alien gods with 6 arms and crystal eyes. But the statues had been corrupted by the curse. Their faces showed expressions of pain and their crystal eyes had turned black. Amy Foster checked her weapons and equipment. Everything electronic is acting strange, she reported. My radio keeps cutting out and the battery levels are dropping fast. This is normal near cursed artifacts, Dr. Vina explained. The dark energy interferes with technology. That is why we must rely on simple tools and human instincts. Once we are inside, Lisa led the team into the temple. The corridors were decorated with beautiful carvings that told the story of Kronos civilization. But as they went deeper, The artwork became twisted and ugly, showing scenes of suffering and despair. "The curse has been changing everything it touches," Princess Kira said sadly. "This temple was once filled with light and hope. Now it spreads only darkness." They encountered the first trap after walking for 20 minutes. The floor suddenly opened, revealing a pit filled with spikes. But Amy Foster, training kicked in and she grabbed Lisa before she could fall. "Thanks," Lisa said. "That was close. There will be more traps." Carl Murphy warned. His scientific instruments were barely working, but he could detect dangerous energy patterns ahead. "The curse does not want us to reach it." They found the next trap when Betty Walsh noticed that one section of wall looked different. The stones were arranged in a pattern that seemed to move when she was not looking directly at it. "Do not touch those walls," she warned everyone. "Something is wrong with them." Dr. Vina scanned the area with her medical equipment. "The walls are covered with a biological substance that appears to be alive. It would probably try to absorb any living tissue that touches it." Lisa realized that the curse had not just corrupted the temple artifacts. It had infected the entire building, turning it into a living trap designed to protect the cursed stone. "We need to move faster," she decided. "The longer we stay here, the more dangerous it becomes." But as they went deeper into the temple, the traps became more complex and deadly. They faced rooms where the floor tried to dissolve their boots, corridors filled with poisonous gas that only affected aliens, and chambers where gravity suddenly reversed. The human volunteers proved their worth by solving problems the aliens could not handle. Amy Foster's military experience helped them avoid ambushes. Carl Murphy's scientific knowledge let him identify safe paths, and Betty Walsh's teaching skills helped coordinate the team. Princess Kira was amazed by how the humans worked together. "On my world, we have individuals who excel at specific tasks," she said. "But you combine all your different abilities to overcome any obstacle." Lisa smiled. "We learned long ago that cooperation makes us stronger. No human survives alone." They finally reached the inner sanctum after 4 hours of careful progress. The chamber was enormous, with a domed ceiling covered in stars. But the stars were all wrong. They showed constellations that spelled out words of despair and hopelessness. In the center of the room stood a pedestal made of black stone. On top of it sat the cursed artifact. It looked like a crystal sculpture of a dying tree with branches that moved slightly as if blown by wind. But Lisa could see that it was much more than just a cursed stone. This artifact was ancient and powerful. It had been growing stronger for centuries, feeding on the life force of an entire planet commander. Talon raised his weapon, but Lisa stopped him. "No," she said, "weapons will not work on it. The curse feeds on violent energy. Using force will only make it stronger." As Lisa approached the pedestal, the cursed artifact began reacting to her presence. The temperature dropped and whispers filled the air in languages that had been dead for millions of years. The curse was trying to communicate with her, showing visions of the devourers who had created it. She saw the insect-like aliens placing cursed artifacts on hundreds of worlds as part of some cosmic experiment. They wanted to see which civilizations were strong enough to resist corruption. She realized to Princess Kira, this was never meant to be a weapon. It was a test, but what were they testing for? Carl Murphy asked. Lisa touched the cursed artifact and immediately understood. They were looking for a species that could inherit their power. The devourers knew they were dying out, so they created these tests to find worthy successors. The curse tried to tempt Lisa with visions of commanding vast fleets and ruling galaxies, but she had learned to ignore such offers. Power without compassion was meaningless to humans. Instead, she focused on the suffering the artifact had caused. 300 years of slow death on Kronos. Billions of lives lost across the galaxy. Families torn apart by an ancient race's cruel experiment. You failed your test. She told the curse. Humans are strong enough to resist you, but we are also wise enough to destroy you. The artifact fought back with everything it had. Dark energy poured from it, trying to crush Lisa's spirit. But she was not alone. The other human volunteers joined hands around the pedestal, lending her their strength. Amy Foster thought about all the battles she had fought for freedom. Carl Murphy remembered every scientific discovery that had improved human life. Betty Walsh recalled thousands of students she had inspired to dream bigger. Dervina monitored Lisa vital signs with amazement. She is maintaining contact with the most powerful cursed artifact ever discovered, but her life signs are stable. Princess Kira watched in wonder as the human team worked together. None of them had the individual power to destroy such an ancient evil. But combined, they were unstoppable. Lisa felt the cursed artifact beginning to crack under the pressure of human determination. It had spent millions of years corrupting civilizations, but it had never faced a species that turned suffering into strength. The crystal tree sculpture began to crumble. Lisa pulled harder, ignoring the pain that shot through her body. Around her, she could feel the support of her team and the hope of everyone counting on them. With a sound like breaking glass, the cursed artifact shattered completely. Its dark energy dissipated and the temple began to change. The corrupted walls returned to their original beauty, and the twisted statues became noble again. Outside the temple, the planet Kronos began to heal. Plants started growing in the wasteland, and the surviving population felt hope for the first time in centuries. But Lisa knew this was just the beginning. They had proven that cursed artifacts could be destroyed, but nearly 2,000 more were scattered across the galaxy as they flew back to Earth. Lisa looked at her team of volunteers. They had faced ancient evil and won through courage and teamwork. Princess Kira sat beside her, learning to speak more human languages. "I want to understand your people better," she said. "You are not the strongest or smartest species in the galaxy, but you may be the most remarkable." Lisa watched the stars and thought about all the civilizations that were counting on humanity to free them from the curse of the Devourers. "We have a lot of work ahead of us," she said, "but I think we are ready for it." 6 months after the first successful mission, Lisa stood before the Galactic Council, representing humanity for the first time. The Great Assembly Hall contained representatives from over 300 alien civilizations, all watching her with curiosity and hope. The human volunteer program had grown to include 5,000 people from Earth. They had successfully destroyed 47 cursed artifacts and saved dozens of worlds. But the greatest challenges still lay ahead. Chancellor Vex of the Council spoke first. "We have watched with amazement as your species accomplishes what we thought impossible, but our intelligence reports show that the remaining cursed artifacts are becoming more dangerous." Lisa nodded. "We have noticed the same pattern. The artifacts are somehow communicating with each other. When we destroy one, the others become harder to reach and more deadly to approach." Princess Kira had become the official alien liaison to the human teams. She had learned to speak perfect English and understood human culture better than most humans understood alien ways. "The network effect is accelerating," she reported to the council. "Our scientists believe the remaining artifacts are pooling their power to create stronger defenses." Dr. Vina had been studying the destroyed artifacts and made a disturbing discovery. Each cursed stone contained data about every civilization it had encountered. Over millions of years, they had learned the weaknesses of thousands of species. But they have never encountered humans before, she explained to Lisa. "That gave us an advantage in the early missions. Now they are adapting their attacks specifically to target human psychology." Lisa had experienced this firsthand during recent missions. The curses were no longer offering power or wealth. Instead, they attacked human emotions, showing visions of loved ones in danger, or making volunteers feel guilty for leaving Earth. The hardest mission had been on the planet Xerion, where Amy Foster had nearly been overwhelmed by visions of her family being hurt. The curse had learned that humans cared more about others than themselves, but the human volunteers adapted too. They developed new training techniques focusing on mental discipline and emotional control. Buddhist monks taught meditation, soldiers shared combat psychology, and teachers explained how to inspire hope in dark situations. The council meeting was interrupted by urgent alerts from across the galaxy. 8 cursed artifacts had simultaneously activated and were draining entire star systems. Their power levels were beyond anything previously recorded. Lisa felt a chill of fear. These artifacts were working together in ways they never had before. The remaining cursed stones had decided to make their final stand. "We need to change our strategy," she announced to the council. "Instead of attacking artifacts one at a time, We must coordinate simultaneous strikes across the galaxy. Commander Talon, who had become the military leader of the joint human-alien forces, agreed. The cursed network is too strong now. If we give them time to prepare, they will become invincible. But mounting simultaneous attacks would require splitting their forces. Lisa would need to train team leaders who could operate independently while facing the most dangerous artifacts ever encountered. Betty Walsh had become the head of human volunteer training. Her teaching experience proved invaluable in preparing people for the psychological warfare the curses employed. We cannot just teach them to resist evil, she explained to Lisa. We must teach them to transform it. Humans have always been good at taking bad situations and finding ways to make them better. The training program expanded to include artists, writers, musicians, and philosophers, along with soldiers and scientists. Lisa realized that creativity and imagination were just as important as courage and determination. Carl Murphy made a breakthrough discovery while studying artifact fragments. The cursed stones contained not just data about civilizations, but also the collective memories of the devourers themselves. The insect race had not been evil, he reported. They were trying to preserve their knowledge and culture by finding a species worthy of inheriting their legacy. The artifacts were meant to be tests of character, not weapons of destruction. This revelation changed everything. Lisa understood now why humans could resist the curses while other species could. Not the devourers had been looking for a race that combined strength with compassion. Lisa called together the senior team leaders for a final planning session. They would attempt to destroy all remaining cursed artifacts in a single coordinated operation across 50 star systems. Amy Foster would lead the assault on the most dangerous artifact located inside a black hole. Princess Kira volunteered to guide a team into the core of a dying star, where another powerful curse waited. Betty Walsh would coordinate attacks on artifacts hidden in ancient ruins, while Carl Murphy led scientific teams to cursed objects buried in the hearts of planets. The operation would require perfect timing. If even one team failed, their artifact could absorb the power of the destroyed ones and become unstoppable. But Lisa had learned to trust human determination and alien friendship. Over the months of working together, the two species had formed bonds stronger than either had expected. On the day of the final assault, Lisa team prepared to face the most dangerous artifact of all. It was hidden in a space station built by the devourers themselves, millions of years ago. The station existed in a dimension between normal space and the realm of pure energy as human and alien ships spread across the galaxy. Lisa felt the weight of history. This moment would determine whether the curse of the devourers finally ended or grew powerful enough to consume all life. The artifact waiting for her was not just a cursed stone. It was the original template from which all others had been created. Destroying it would require her to enter the minds of the long-dead devourers and confront their deepest fears. Princess Kira stayed by Lisa's side, even though the mission was too dangerous for someone who had already been touched by a curse. I owe my life to human courage, she said. Now I want to help save everyone else. As they approached the Devourer station, Lisa could feel the immense power waiting inside. But she also felt something else, hope radiating from thousands of human volunteers and millions of alien civilians, all believing that this nightmare could finally end. The final battle between humanity and the ancient curse was about to begin. Lisa thought about her small repair shop on Earth and how far she had come. The girl who had once fixed broken cars was now trying to fix a broken galaxy. She smiled as their ship docked with the Devourer station. The curse had chosen the wrong species. To test humans did not just survive challenges, they used challenges to become better than they ever thought possible. Through her communication system, she heard reports from teams across the galaxy. All units were in position and ready to begin the simultaneous assault. This is it, Lisa announced to all human volunteers. We came from a small blue planet that nobody had heard of. Now we stand ready to free the entire galaxy from an ancient evil. She paused, thinking about Queen Zara. Desperate plea that had started everything. Human, my daughter needs you. Today we show the universe what those words really mean. The coordinated attack began. Lisa led her team into the heart of the Devourer station, where the master artifact waited surrounded by the ghosts of a dead civilization. But Lisa was not afraid. She carried with her the hopes of two worlds, and the strength that came from knowing she was not fighting alone. Humanity had found its place among the stars by doing what humans did best, helping others when help was needed most. The curse of the Devourers had lasted for millions of years, but it had never faced anything like humans' stubborn refusal to give up on people worth saving. Lisa reached for the master artifact ready to end, the longest nightmare in galactic history. With human determination and alien friendship backing her up, she knew they could not lose. The galaxy was about to discover that some things were more powerful than ancient evil. Love, hope, and the simple, human belief that tomorrow could always be better than today.